welcome to our program Young Directors Talk that is organised by FDAM, that is also known as Film Director Association of Malaysia. Here I have Ariffin Zulkarnain, who is also an aspiring director, and he is here to actually share the knowledge and his experience with us today. So in the beginning, I would like to start about how did you get involved in this film industry?
I started in 2007 as prop man in a department uni, and then from there in 2008 I continue my study in Aswara in film and video studies, sorry. And then after finish the studies, while doing the study as well, I start pursue my career into assistant director, and then I work with numerous filmmakers like Kabir Bakhtiar, Raza Syam Rashid, Nick Amir, Namron, and Gas Abu Bakar as well, to name a few. And then from doing assistant director, I started to love doing craft like filmmaking, and then that's why I started with the short film and directing the short film and also the telemovie for Astros and a lot of television channel.
Oh, I see. Well, that's very nice. So what made you feel like you want to pursue in directing? Because since you were from, prop and then to cameraman and all.
Since from school actually, I like subjects like literature, writings and history, all about the facts of me. Like I like to watch to read autobiographies, novel and books and everything. So maybe from there I like to share the stories, sharing story with people. So that's why when I have the opportunity to direct, then I use that as a skill to sharing my story to people.
That's a very good skill. So actually, who inspired you to actually start directing?
Okay, who inspired me? To be honest, there's nobody inspired me like individually inspired me to be a filmmaker. But that's the thing, because I like to watch movie when I was kids. My first movie is Lion King, so from there my dad told me that this story is about this is the antagonist, this is the protagonist. So I started to wait. So I think the process of making movies is very interesting, because you playing God, you decide who will be the villain, who will be the antagonist, who will be the protagonist. I mean, you can decide how the story goes. So and then I watch, like I mentioned before, I watch a lot of movies. I know local filmmaker like Osman Hafsham. I watch Mechanic. I watch Prima Tantu sitcom. Sort of release my tension, maybe watching comedy. And then when I joined this industry as a prop man, I do that for living actually. Like not like I want to become a filmmaker, so I start doing a department. But it's not like that. It's like I don't have money, but I want to survive. Then I start doing prop man. But from doing prop man, I observe every day on set, and I see the assistant director works. So I think, this guy have a good command. So I need to like observe his skills, his way of doing his stuff. And then after that, that's why after prop man, then I volunteer myself. I want to try new things. I want to be an assistant director. So this is like a process for me. When you are doing assistant director and you work closely with a director, you be their sidekicks, and then you start to like, I think maybe it's time for me to try to be a director as well. So when I get the opportunity, then I just be a director. So
that's very cool. So as you become director, were there any like challenges that you face? Like what kind of challenges that you face, like that it can demotivate you and get to where you are now?
Demotivate me? Yeah. I mean, you mean the process of making a project, a story?
Yeah, as a director, like there comes like challenges and problems that you face.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get demotivated, you get down. So what kind of challenges that you face throughout directing the short film and all?
I think back to basic because normally how directors, I don't know about international level kind of directors, but for me in Malaysia, because let's say this production got slot for TV or anything, so they call writers or directors or would you like to pitching for us? I mean, if you have story, then can you pitch for us for this channel or for producer or anything? So it's not the problem. It's not demotivated me, but I think I'm talking about the process, because process to find a good story is one thing, meaning from preparation, production, and post. 3 of those stages has their own problems.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's people like really passionate about that. So that's when you become demotivated. You feeling down, your morals down. But I think coming of age, when you always do that, then you sort of can overcome the stress in craft a story.
I see. So moving on from that, when you start directing, what kind of genre do you like?
Of course, I need to say that I love all genres. So, but I like to do a light-hearted movie, feeling good movie that people can relate. I like a normal films, a normal story for a normal people, for conventional, for mass audience. Not to say that art house movie. I like art house movie. I like mainstream movie. I like both popcorn movie. But I think romantic comedy, some serious movie like drama movie that inspired people to be a better person. That kind of movie.
I see. So knowing that as a director, there's a lot of genre that you pursue that you want to do. But what kind of genre that you think that is really hard for you and that you haven't got the touch yet,
I never, as a director, I never do horror movie, horror genre, thriller. But I looking forward to challenge myself to direct that kind of story in the future.
That's nice.
Because I think it's not easy to do. I mean, it's not easy to become a director, but in general, it's not easy. But certain genre, is a different challenge for you.
I see. So from then on, when you touch the script writing, so when you do script writing, like does it take a long process for you to actually find the idea of making the short film?
For now, my skill in directing and writing is not so good like like the rest of directors that always direct, because I still young, I still just starting. So basically, I like the process of making stories, making project, short films, telemovie or films, starting from the ground, which is with session with the scriptwriter itself. And I really tell the people that I really tell the producer that, can you please like give me space to work with my scriptwriter. I like to go scene by scene with the scriptwriter itself. I know some directors they sometimes they not go that process. Like they brief the scriptwriter like very in general, and then the scriptwriter coming with the ideas, draft 1, draft 2, draft 3. But for me, first step, draft 1, maybe I let the scriptwriter just do the script. But second draft is I think the story need to be polished. I really like to sit next to the scriptwriter and we did that bits by bits.
I see. So that is very like knowledgeable for you to like improve your field, not only in directing but then also in like script writing. Yeah. So from then on, like, how do you get the idea to actually create a short film, like based on whatever genre that you want? Yeah. How did you get that? What inspired you to have that idea?
I think there's three things that in life, I mean not in life, but three things that I always aware of, and I think I really need to do. It's not about your books or study or anything, but first you need to read a lot of books. Second, you need to watch a lot of movies. No matter it's local, no matter it's popcorn, no matter it's mainstream or art house, just watch movie. Like maybe a week you watch 2 movies. And then 3 is you aware with the surrounding, what's the issue that happening now. Like if you really wanted to do some story that have a social critics in that, so you need to know what's the team that you play. So that's for me.
I see. So I've heard that you were actually nominated as one of the best director for the BMW short film. So how did you feel about that? Like, does it make you want to pursue further?
It feels good because I understand it's not easy to be the top 10 list of BMW short film competition. Then I actually quite surprised because they nominated me in Best Director category. But for me, it's like a motivation for me to proceed with the next project. I mean, to polish my skills of directing. That's all.
Have you ever thought that other than directing, is there any other type of field you want to pursue in?
Maybe acting.
I see. Why acting?
Because I always behind the camera, so maybe I can try sit in front of the camera like this kind of situation now.
Yeah. So let's say for a director like you, and that you are building it out in the local area.
Okay.
What do you plan to do in the future? Like, do you plan to go to international?
I don't know about go international, but for me, we're talking about local industry, film industry. I really love to collaborate with people in this industry, creative people, sharing the ideas with them. Then I really want to be the new wave filmmakers movement, like young filmmakers we're talking about. I think that in this industry we cannot work individual. We need to collaborate. We need to bersatu, we call. So it's easy for us to move and maybe go international. We cannot go international individually. We need to go together.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
true. So how do you think is important for you, like when skills and your knowledge, like how important is it for you to actually excel in this directing field?
Sorry. Come again?
Yeah. How do you think it's important for you to excel in this directing field by having the skills and knowledge? Like, do you need both or just one of it?
I think we need both. Like I mentioned just now, if you want to be a director, watch a lot of movies, read books, any books that you like, or maybe any book that people recommended to read, and then you need to learn basic things like camera, editing. Bukan seharusnya you kena belajar kamera or editing sampai you level yang professional or anything, but just to know the format, the system. Like sometimes when you have the option, like people gonna ask you like, okay, this project you wanna shoot in what kind of resolution, what kind of format. So you have to understand that technical aspect as well. So that's why you need to know all the basic skills and in terms of theory and practical as well.
Oh, I see. Like, do you have thoughts of actually like opening up maybe a class to actually teach young people who actually has plans for the future in directing?
I tak boleh jadi cikgu lah, I tak pandai lagi. I still learning, banyak benda I kena belajar. I still need to polish my skills, I still need to train myself to become a director. This is like kalau kita cakap daripada tangga, this is baru step 1 from I don't know 100 of or staircase, right? I'm still learning. So Yeah, but before this, I teach the kids for this program, KWN program, Kid Winners New, but like high school, not first school, what we call sekolah rendah is what?
Primary school.
Primary school. I teach a primary school how to handle camera, how to making short film, but between their range lah, not like expect they to do a very solid short film, but just to learn the skills and basic things.
I see. So moving on from that, and then back to your filming, what was the hardest decision that you had to make? Like, let's say, based on tight budget, like, was it hard to find places,
Location.
talents? Yeah.
I think always the main challenge when we the production, or like we are shooting a project or anything, the main challenge can be the budget. So if we work on a very tight budget, we need to shrink down the scale of our production. If the weather is the issue, we need to select the scene itself, where we want to shoot indoor, what kind of scene need to be shoot outdoor, what kind of scene need to shoot indoor. We need to narrow the scale of that. Basically, when you are doing directing or when you are doing assistant director or director, you need to always have plan A, plan B, plan C. If plan A tak jadi, what's the plan B? Plan B tak jadi, what's the plan C? That's the thing. So far I know like two plan A, plan B. I don't know about plan C lah.
boleh try. So, from this, all of this short film that you dah buat, so what kind of short film that you have done so far?
What kind of short film I have done so far? Actually, to list, I actually dah buat dalam, I think 3 short films. First in my final year project, Kotak, the short film called Kotak, and the short film shoot on film, like old film. We use Super 16 film, and then that short film won best editing in film festival, student film festival, and 2012, and also the best cinematography in Kodak Film School competition, also 2012. And then after graduate, I got offer from Redcom and Astro to direct a short film telling about hometown story, which is they select 14 directors to make a short film about their hometown. So yeah, I'm one of them. That's my training ground lah, basically.
I see.
And then Lelaki yang Rindu, the short film. Actually, this year I always think about I want to join this BNW showcase, but always tak sempat nak buat because of work and everything. But this year I have like sort of masa yang agak lapang sikit waktu tu, dan bila I dapat tahu tema dia Drive, the theme is Drive this year, so it's quite an interest to me because I think I ada story related with the theme. So dah lama tak direct, dan just kumpul duit dan buat the short film. So alhamdulillah, the feedback, they nominated my short film in the top 10 list. So feels good.
Yeah, bagus lah tu. It's very nice. So after when you did this film, like, have you ever thought of maybe making movies, directing movies?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think this is a very long process. So I think I really wanted to spend my time now, like in this. I don't know. I cannot tell that how many years I need to be ready. But like people say that if you wait for yourself to be ready, then you will never be ready, right? But I rasa I kena belajar and polish my skills lagi lah. So I think I'm not ready for movies or anything. Just apa yang I mampu buat, then I buat itu.
Tak apa, kena yakin. Janji kena yakin. Yes. So in the future, like, what do you expect to happen in the film industry when you're directing inside it?
In the future, what do I expect to be in this to happen in this industry?
Yeah.
I think we made a good progress in terms of our industry, in terms of filmmaking or creative content itself. Now recently, if you notice that we have a lot of channel that coming, like we have iFlix, we have View.com. I mean, like media like online streaming platform, right? And TV also, we have Astro Citra, we have Oasis, we have a lot of new channel. So I'm sure daripada channel-channel yang banyak ni, kita boleh mendapat peluang yang lebih meluas lagi untuk kalau nak jadi pengarah, kita boleh dapat lagi chance. Tapi kita kena bekerja keras untuk dapatkan benda tu lah. Macam you sendiri, if you nak buat hosting, there's a lot of channel now, so you can try as well. And harapan dia pada industri ni, I think now it's about time for us to be united. Kita bersatu sebab again, kenapa I mention tu, because I think if you dengar certain story from luar negara, like country like Korean or I don't know, like Korean, I heard the story that the filmmakers unite and then now they create a revolution in their film industry. So kita kena buat tu lah sebenarnya, kita kena support each other, sokong menyokong, kita kena henti mengecam ataupun ada bias on certain things in filmmaking punya parts or process. So I think that's my hope lah, to bersatu.
Bagus lah tu, serius bagus. So finally, like, what advice can you give to those who wants to be in the future, yang nak jadi pengarah di masa depan kan?
I think just go with your instinct. Like if you think that you yakin dengan diri you yang cerita yang you bawa tu you tahu dan berada dalam lingkungan yang you boleh buat, you boleh capai sebagai pengarah, buat tu. Tapi bersedia untuk terima kritikan dan juga bukan saja kritikan dan juga tunjuk ajar daripada orang-orang yang lebih berpengalaman. Baca buku, tengok movie banyak-banyak.
Alright. Apa perasaan you apabila macam orang bagi kritik dekat you?
I think it's a very good thing. So we aware or we notice something, because sometimes when we direct story or anything from our perspective. Because sometimes when we direct a story or anything, a short film or any kind of creative content, that's coming from our perspective. So we don't know what people think. So when we show our story, when we you know, let's say when people watch our story, then people have their own opinion and their own perspective. So like I think this is very subjective and we open to discuss. You can critique, but you try avoid from bash or backlash or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this wraps up our questionnaire.
Okay.
So this is Ariffin Zulkarnain, and I hope that everyone who watches this gets to be inspired to be a future director. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.